You're listening to the Loungtastic podcast.
News, entertainment.
Loungtastic. Lounge it up.
Lounge it up, relax. To follow us on social media, head over to loungtastic.com. And for more about shows as they air and to see bonus episodes, become a premium member over at Patreon/Loungtastic. That's Patreon/Loungtastic. Hey everyone, happy holidays. Welcome to Loungtastic. All that's amusing in the world.
Welcome back.
I make it sound really good. Why does it have to be exciting? 44th podcast.
How's it going, guys?
Oh, that's awesome.
This is a familiar voice to you. Nice to be back.
Today we will be reviewing episode 3 of season 7 of $1 Million Listing New York.
Yeah, $1 Billion Listings, as you probably recognize, is a TV show that we used to review back in this day.
You're old enough to remember when emojis were called hieroglyphics.
With the lovable cast of ruthless real estate agents.
And as we enter our second week of July here, 2018, we're captivated by 50 Cent selling his $5 million mansion in Farmdale, Connecticut.
Yeah, Curtis Jackson officially handing in his license as the only black guy in Connecticut.
Right.
And moving out. Who knows where. Probably somewhere weird. Probably somewhere where he can stash all his hidden tax-free money.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Curtis got in trouble years ago because he said that he couldn't pay his taxes, and then he was given some kind of leniency by the government, and then he started posting pictures of himself with money, like millions of cash.
Oh, that's awesome.
Laying on beds and stacked up and everything, and then the judge was like, hey, you can't file for bankruptcy and then be like, yeah, I've got all this extra cash laying around.
It just shows that no matter what, like how rich and successful you are, at the end of the day, you're still a flawed human being.
Oh, that's awesome.
And like when you get called broke in court, it just gets to you that when you finally get the verdict, you go home and you put incriminating evidence on Instagram.
Let's celebrate by posting pictures of money.
I take my bra off.
Ooh, all this. Hey, Ari, you didn't tell me that they were gonna look at my Instagram. It's 50.
Oh, that's awesome.
Call me back.
Welcome back to the Lawrence Hurstel podcast.
So Fredrik is meeting with the listing agent, Jennifer, here, and they want to bring him in on it to bring in some of his clientele. Some of the brokers he knows also that might be interested might bring a buyer to this place. And the listing price is at $5,995.
It looks like Jennifer was the kind of person who, is sold this kind of properties before, or at least she pretends like it, right?
She's a pretender.
And even though she seems to have the experience, she ends up being like a hurdle for Fredrik to constantly have to get over. It's constantly Fredrik trying to do things and then Jennifer telling him that, oh, that's not really how it is, it could be some sort of other way. And you could tell Fredrik gets bored with that pretty quickly, but I mean, who wouldn't? You're brought in to help.
Yeah.
And the person that needed help is trying to tell you how they've been doing it. Well, clearly how you've been doing it hasn't worked.
We took a view of this place. It's 50,000 square feet. It was previously owned by Mike Tyson.
And you want to own stuff that Mike Tyson used to own.
Maybe not his bed. Let's get a new bed in there.
New mirrors, too. He probably spat on all of them.
I'm very upset with you.
This house is humongous. 52 bedrooms, 17 kitchens. You know why I need 17 kitchens? Because I never use the same kitchen twice. When I'm all done using these kitchens, I'm moving.
I'm going to give them to the #1 hip-hop guy of 2018, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
I like your Mike Tyson better than yeah, my impressions are rusty.
No, you're fine. You're awesome, dude.
Formal dining room. This table is made 100% out of tree wood.
Wood from a tree wood.
Did you know that that's where they find 99% of all wood? I don't know where the other 1% is. I am Mike Tyson after all. I did only learn how to read this past year. Mike Tyson was illiterate throughout his boxing career.
This home is beautiful. I don't know if Mike Tyson was one that designed this house, but the funny thing is that 50 Cent put mirrors up on the ceiling.
Yeah. And because of that, he got design credit. It pops out in the screen. It's like 50 Cent design bedroom mirror ceiling.
Lawrence Lawrence, and he's already got his Bears jacket on, and he's ready for football to begin. It's not even September. He already has his Bears jacket on.
I was in the pool, and it was extremely cold, okay? Today was a crisp July day. It was only 75 degrees out, and that pool was not heated.
Poor baby's freezing. He has to put on his Cubs jacket. I said it's July 7th, and poor baby's freezing, so he has to wear his Cubs jacket. But at least, it's orange and blue, and it looks good on him. Lawrence, you do know that the Bears haven't been good since '85, right?
So we see saunas, racquetball courts, basketball court, a billiard room. They've got a casino, which is, even though it's only in 50 Cent's house, it's more successful than Donald Trump's Taj Mahal in Atlantic City.
Zing.
Bling, bling.
We're back, baby. The heat. The heat.
So he's got a studio, and then Fredrik grabs his studio papers, and he says, did you do anything good here? And 50's like, I did the massacre here. And he's like, oh, no, I don't know if we could sell the house then.
Oh, not don't make it the massacre, too.
Now that we all know that our next president is going to be Bernie Sanders, does that mean that we all have to embrace socialism?
Remember Lumosity? Lumosity.com?
Yeah, Lumosity.
Brain training. So you remember things. If you have trouble with memory, you can play this game. It's an app on your phone. I'm sure there's a free version of it. It's called Lumosity, and then it trains you to remember things better, and it gives your brain a workout, as opposed to, like watching a TV show where you're not using much of your cognitive skills. You're just watching a show that somebody else is presenting to you.
Definitely. I do it all the time with Lawrence. Hey, Lawrence, when are you going to do something about that mold monster in your bathtub?
I told you I'm working on it.
Well, you better get to it. Well, I think so too. I took a shower last night after the pool, and it was like insanely moldy. I think it winked at me.
Well, if people would pick up their wet towels, I wouldn't have a problem with mold, because the mold didn't come until people left towels laying around.
I don't know who these people are. They must be aliens or something. Below Deck is finally coming to an end, and Captain Sandy finally led these people to an end of an adventure. We got to explore some great places in Italy, and we got to see the cuisine there, and we got to see the people on this boat have an absolute blast after, of course, the work was done. Now, a show I'm looking forward to is called $1 Million Listing, Los Angeles. It's making its way back, and the properties are hotter than ever.
We have Josh Altman,
Josh Flagg, Madison Hildebrandt, Heather Locklear. Just kidding.
Heather Locklear, the real estate agent.
She's a new real estate agent. My favorite room in the first house that they showed was the kitchen. There was plenty of space for making amazing meals, and I could see myself having such a blast in there if it was for all 4 seasons, if it was here in Chicago. The amount of rooms in this house was astronomical. I can't believe it. 50 Cent purchased his house in Connecticut for $41 million.
4.1
million. And now he's trying to sell it for $6 million. Lawrence, what was the most interesting house that you saw around the Chicagoland area?
Wayne Gretzky's house was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, it's $7 million house.
Yeah.
Cool. Welcome back to Lawrence Hurstel's podcast. Welcome back to the Lawrence Hurstel podcast. I'm excited for football season to return. I'm actually a girl who likes sports. I could watch something for hours. I could watch football for hours. It just brings me so much excitement. I don't want to sound too excited about football.
There's a fun game.
I go to the pool and Lawrence Hurstel spreads ranch all over my arms and my face because he thinks it's the newest thing. It's like the newest, style of 2018.
Yeah, we had fun. We were out by the pool. The party was kind of getting light that day, so we decided that I would make Mila a salad. By make her a salad, I meant make her become the salad.
Yeah, my body was a salad, so...
She ran up to the lifeguard like a little girl. She's like, "He put ranch all over me."
I did, yeah. Because the lifeguard just looked at me. He's like, "Wow, I've never seen that happen before."
It's a slow day, and then people pouring ranch on each other. He's trying to read his book. He usually puts on classic rock and gospel music intertwined with each other, which the first time I heard it, I got a little irritated, but then I got to the point where I'm like, this is actually kind of funny. This is a funny little situation. And 50's like, no, dude, it's all right. Hey, it's The Massacre is the name of my CD album from 1998.
And then Fredrik was like, I can do this. And then he grabs, like, 50s freestyle notepad, and he's hello, I am Fredrik. Call me 6%.
Yes. 50's like, ba ba da ba 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 ba, and Fredrik's like, I would like a nickname. What nickname would be good for me? How about 6% commission?
Yes, my name is Fredrik. I want that commission. But if you eat at my house, you better do your own dishes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's hilarious. Anyway, this episode's awesome because we don't get into celebrities much, and it's actually been a thing on this series for New York and LA that they can't talk about the celebrities that they have because it's part of the confidentiality you have as a broker. They could only say that was a house once owned by Gwen Stefani.
Right.
Jack Nicholson peed in that tree.
Gwen Stefani peed on all the furniture.
Hey, Lawrence, you must have been born on a highway because that's where most accidents happen.
Sold.
I thought it smelled funky.
I knew I recognized that smell.
So we're getting into Ryan's deal here, and he must help this developer sell on Vanderbilt. And the developer is doing his first gig here, and Ryan is like, well, I've told everyone how to do it on Sell It Like Sirhan, my little spin-off show, which was awful, by the way. It was excruciating to watch that show. I downloaded as many episodes as I could, and by the time you hit the second episode, the third one solidifies it, it's the same storyline. The person's going to get fired unless Ryan helps them. And they've been there for 3 months, and it's like comes down to the wire. If Ryan doesn't help them sell whatever product they're trying to sell, the boss looks in the camera and says, I'm going to fire him. And it's like, after Donald Trump, nobody could say that anymore. It's just weak, because Donald did it the right way.
Yeah, Donald really was the epitome of people getting fired. After that, everyone's like, fire me, you're not Donald. That's not going to hurt.
So I'll sit here with Mo and we'll watch. It's called An American Dream, Donald Trump. And it was referred to me by my friend Ryan, and I asked
podcast 43 fame.
Yeah, and Ryan told me that you have to see this, and I'm like, was it made by Trump supporters or Trump haters?
And he was like, neither. It was actually made by Ron Howard. Who's
but
fucking alien.
He told me, he said it's all neutral, and that's how that starts out. Like they re-solidify. It's like they're all neutral.
I want to disclaim that The American Dream, the story of Donald Trump, was not directed by Ron Howard. I don't want anybody to get excited. Any fucking Ron Howard stands. Well, I have to see this. I love Arrested Development. I wonder if it's going to be like the Da Vinci Code. I don't think Ron Howard directed that.
Ryan gets pulled up to Vanderbilt, and he's got to sell out these properties. And Ryan does a good job in New York, but this guy ups the ante, and he says, hey, I want you to sell development in China.
Ryan's like, fuck, I don't speak Chinese.
The guy's like, I'll give you $1 million commission from it.
This guy was so funny, dude. Yeah. He talked the entire time like he was chewing on taffy.
Taffy chewer.
I just think that's what people talk like after a few years in development. Like after your second billion,
yeah,
it's just that taffy is just stuck in your jaws forever.
You have such a stronger taffy you could chew on now.
Hey, Lawrence, you have two parts of the brain, left and right. In the left side, there's nothing right. In the right side, there's nothing left.
You have to settle for Laffy Taffy. You could settle for...
Right, whatever.
King Louis Taffy.
That's right. They fucking dug up King Louis's grave, and they found some taffy with him, and that's the type of taffy you be eating nowadays.
Your family tree must be a cactus because everybody on it is a prick.
Yeah.
How expensive do you think taffy gets? Seriously.
$39 an ounce.
Nah. You know what's really, like, what's seriously a delicacy?
What's that?
Beef jerky.
Is it? Where?
Anywhere. We work in a grocery store.
Yeah.
And, you know, they sell the 4 ounces of that disgusting Baby Ray's, Sweet Baby Ray's teriyaki beef jerky.
Welcome back to the store, by the way. That's awesome. Glad you're back.
Yeah, you know I'm happy to be back.
I took a welcoming photo of you. I was like, it's him. It's really him. He's back.
It's me, green uniform, a chipper smile, and that distinct body odor, which you can't figure out when the last time I hit the showers.
I saw a figure I hadn't seen in a long while because he to my knowledge, he had retired and he got the pension and everything. It was Jim Bloomdower,
Jim Bing Bong Ding Dong.
in full drab, in full jewel drab, and I said,
You think he just wears it now? Like he doesn't know any better?
I was like,
It's been 60 years.
I was like, yeah, it's been 40 years, and he's wearing a jewel style outfit, and I shook his hand. He gave me the weirdest handshake ever. He
Like grabbed halfway through, he just grabbed your fingers. He grabbed your hand like this. He grabbed the top of your hand and just went up and down.
So he's a Jewel integration specialist.
Oh no, he went back to work.
He's still working for Jewel. He didn't leave. They had a position open for him, which was very lucrative. And he's telling his wife, "I'm going to be retired tomorrow." And then he's like, "Well, a year and a half more." When he walked out of the building, I shook his hand. I said, "Thanks for hiring me." He said, "Yep." So
Says, yeah, well, when you get to the end of career, you really don't care anymore.
he's funding his Italian vacation right now. He and his wife are gonna.
Fuck, dude. Don't. Hey, that's what I like to hear. I sell vacations, man. You should tell them to come talk to me.
Nice. Let's do it. A travel agent though?
Yeah. I sell tours.
I sell the dream.
I sell cruises, everything, dude.
Nice. I'll refer people to you.
Hit me with Jim Doobie-Dower.
Jim Booby Dollar. You'll see him. He'll probably be in there again. He integrated all the new systems.
You know for a fact Jim doesn't know me.
Miguel walked up to me and he's like, "Hey, you saw Jim Bloomdower?" I'm like, "Yeah, you were standing there too. Were you starstruck?" And he's like, "No, I was just filling the soups." That's my Miguel impression.
No,
You'd have to know Miguel. Huh?
Not bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's got like a Chicago accent.
Yeah, really bad. Like a really bad Chicago one.
And
And then he tells me to work on Friday. Does he not know that Friday is the Cubs game?
Yeah,
We're like making fun of our own accent.
making fun of our own bosses. I heard you guys on the Loungtastic podcast.
Hilarious.
You have to do something about that voice.
Yeah, we'll just bleep you guys out.
Sorry, I didn't respond to you just now. I was doing something productive and not wasting my precious time with your low-life speeches.
So we look at the nightclub, and it's 3,500 square feet.
We'll go back into 50 Cent's house, baby.
Things you can do in that nightclub, and of course, you want to keep things to a minimum. And 50 says, "You know how many naked butts have been on that seat?
You know how many naked butts have been in this house?
More naked butts that could fill 17 kitchens."
Yeah, go. Get out the fuck out of my kitchen, cause you're naked.
Cause you're naked.
It's cool. Like 50 Cent really kind of made this episode. Like I don't think any other episodes this season are really gonna have the same flavor, because, or at least segments, of course, because the entire episode wasn't about him. But the segments that concern 50 Cent were just so hilarious. Like when he sits down with whatever the hell his lister's name is, I forgot her name. Jennifer, 50 Cent's agent, and Fredrik. And 50 Cent all sit in the same room, and Fredrik does his like whole spiel where he's trying to tell the seller that their dreams for their property is too big, right?
Yeah.
That they're trying to sell their property too high. So Fredrik is trying to tell 50 Cent that, the property's been on the market so long, this and that, yada yada, that he might have to lower his expectations. And 50 Cent is like, no. Listen here, Freddie. Hey, let me take you around. You saw the naked butt swing. You saw the strip club. You saw the 300-foot ceiling nightclub in my basement. You saw the casino, the 72 kitchens, the 38 bathrooms. You don't tell me I gotta lower my price.
Straight up. Oh, and then so here we are, and 50's like, "I want to get the price up on the place," and Fredrik is like,
Well, we just cannot do that.
"No, it's 5.9." And then Frederick's like, "If you want to sell this, you got to list it at the right price. So 4.9, get started here." And 50's like, "You know what? I'm gonna pull one out of the back alley." He walks up to a
50 Cent's like, Fredrik, let me show you something. And then he gets them up in the middle of the meeting.
Yeah.
And he walks them down this hallway into this like random door.
Yeah.
It's not a door that leads in here. It's not the
No.
door that leads outside. It's not the door that leads to the backyard. It's a door that just leads to a hallway that moves you to another part of this ginormous house.
Yeah.
And he goes, Fredrik, you see these lamps? They're made out of 10 karat gold.
He's like, "Yeah."
And then 50 Cent just becomes completely silent and is looking straight into the lamps. Like he's like 10 inches away from the lamps and he's staring directly into them. And Fredrik is looking at 50 Cent like...
Is your ass jealous of the amount of shit that just came out of your mouth?
And then after like 10 minutes of 50 Cent staring at the lamps, he looks back at Fredrik, and 50 Cent looks back at Fredrik and goes, "All right, so let's just do it. All right, make it happen."
Exactly, yeah.
And that's basically...
He's squinting at him, like looking through him. And 50 puts the face on, like, I know. It's a fake lamp. It's like a vodka brand. It's just water and fermented rat urine.
Vanilla beans.
Vanilla beans.
And then Fredrik goes back in for a hug, not knowing that 50 Cent is a notorious homophobe.
Fucking, I was working with Rebecca all day today. I couldn't help laughing. I usually keep the laughs in, but the person was like, I want a cold brew with vanilla. And Rebecca's like, oh, a cold brew. And they're like, yes. You want vanilla in that? And they're like, yeah. And she said, you said cold brew, right? And they're like, yeah. I was like making the drinks, and it was like, oh my God, this is the funniest exchange ever, because she can't remember what happened 2 seconds ago. She can't remember the answers. No. And then she looks him dead in the eye and says,
This is a Starbucks, right?
I couldn't help laughing, and she's like, "Oh, that's funny, huh?" And I'm like, "Do you remember what's funny?" And she's like, "No." She didn't know where the fuck she was.
She fucking forgot the joke.
So funny. Yeah, she didn't know. She's like, what?
She's like, oh, that was funny, huh?
Yeah, she was in a good mood today, though.
Oh, yeah.
She went on break. I counted her breaks subconsciously, and she went on 12 breaks today.
12?
She's gone for like 10 minutes each. Yeah, I was like, you okay?
That's a fucking...
Because she was there. She said, I've been here since 11. Because they made her work till like 6 today for some reason. I don't know what the hell they're doing. The happy hour confused everybody. Nobody knew how. Nobody knew. I don't even know this. I had to look at the sign for 5 minutes because I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And it was funny when I got interrogated by the district manager of Starbucks, and he's like, what are the rules of happy hour that we're having coming up here?
And then you're like, simple, just don't give them too much in case they have to drive home.
So I was like, it's grande or venti espresso drinks. And he looked at Randy, and Randy's like, I'll get him squared away. And then Randy's like, don't worry about it. I'm like, I still don't know what's a happy hour.
It's literally just Frappuccino
Randy
drinks.
had no idea. This was last month.
It's just Frappuccino drinks.
It's any espresso drink today.
Oh, really? That must have sucked. Can't believe they gave me the day off.
So confused. And I remember 2 people are just like, whatever, just give me, I'll just take it for 10. And I'm like, there is a smart person at Starbucks Corporation that did this on purpose because I know people don't want to sit there and figure this out. I told them straight up, I said, it's 2 espresso drinks. And they're like, do you put espresso in Frappuccinos? And I'm like, no but... we can try it, and I think the mochas are going through on grande or above. And they're like, you know what, just give me 2 talls. And I'm thinking to myself, you fucking moron. Yeah. 2 talls are going to be excessively more expensive than 2 grandes at this point. So I was like, you know what, I don't care. I didn't even want to be there today. This is my 4th day in a row there. After having 6 days in a row, which I didn't like. I wrote my 2 weeks notice today.
I was there. Oh, today you did it.
I wrote my 2 weeks notice, and I went in, and they're like, well, you have to fill out the actual form, the Jewel form.
Okay.
So
I guess the resignation on paper.
I just decided not to do it. It's a weird microphone. What?
You gonna leave it like that? Yeah, I'd be getting the same. I mean, I had my 2 days off. Today's the last day off.
Yeah.
And then who the fuck knows when I'm gonna work until? I'm probably gonna work until next Thursday or next Friday. Whatever. And I gotta check my pay stubs.
I'm excited to have you back. We're going to talk about Below Deck.
Yeah.
That's a show you probably like more than this real estate show, which I understand.
Yeah.
I just texted you a couple days ago, so I'm like, the 50 Cent one is actually really interesting. It takes a huge twist too. Like, you don't expect to happen what happens. It's never happened on any show I've ever seen.
I'm ready for the twist.
50 Cent sits them all down, and he's like, this is what I want to do, and I'm like, no way. But,
you know what? I've decided, Fredrik, you're right. This house is too big. I'm going to turn it into an apartment complex for battered women. I've turned a new leaf in my life.
You're on the right track, though. So, yeah, the Me Too movement. But it's good. I'm glad that New York started up again, and they said that $1 Million Listing Los Angeles is coming back, too.
Wow, they're bringing back L.A.
Giddy as a schoolgirl.
That means Mason's coming back. With his son / boyfriend, Cody.
Yeah, I remember that was funny. It's funny that they said it on the show too.
We got Madison, Josh, girl,
oh no, Tracy's gone. They don't want to be on there anymore because the divorce thing's really hitting them hard right now.
Oh no. Yeah, that was fucked up. It was kind of her character arc that she was like mom / wife / real estate agent.
Exactly.
Until like maybe the dude was gay.
Who knows? We'll find out on our next podcast.
Yeah, definitely. We'll find out for you guys why Tracy and her husband Giggles got divorced.
Giggle-worthy. He never giggled. He had a straight face the whole time.
No, every single scene, he had the same exact face. He was always mad at her.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have seen that coming. I remember that day when you told me that they got divorced. I was sad.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm glad to know that LA is coming back. You know, that's something. A couple familiar faces.
It picked me up. I had some rough years ahead that I'll explain on a podcast.
Yeah, we all know that $1 million listening Los Angeles has been a big part of your life, Lawrence.
It has. It pulled me out of a funk. I got involved with it when Below Deck was starting too, and it kind of pulled me out of a really bad funk.
There you have it,
I was
folks.
right where Anthony Bourdain was the day before his suicide.
There you go, folks. Bravo Television Networking, saving lives one guy's named Lawrence at a time.
Yeah. Summer House is coming back, so
that's cool. I heard that you told me that they gutted the
characters, so it's just
Kyle Cook, Carl, and his girlfriend.
Kyle Cook, yeah, they got rid of the Workus twins and Steven, which I'm happy they got rid of Steven because he got annoying fast. But
I mean, he was playing his part though, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
And then Workus, one of them was a married broad, so she didn't fit the mold.
Careful, yeah.
And then the other one was like Gonki's Khan, kind of.
Sure.
She was like a really angry lady. She's just mad at everything, and like she's all caught up in Carl because I don't know. She's about to hit that lady plateau where if they don't have a baby, like they're weird or something.
Yeah.
So
midlife crisis or
beginning
menopause.
Yeah, I know, right? Menopause at 31 years old, Lawrence.
Support bacteria. They're the only culture some people have.
No, I'm talking about the cultural fucking stigma of being a woman without a baby.
Sure.
Late into your 30s.
Aren't you gonna have a baby? Where's the baby?
I'm 64, Gladys.
If I wanted to kill myself, I'd climb your ego and jump to your IQ.
So who's left on Summer House? We got Carl, Kyle Cook, Amanda Batula, probably, right? They got rid of Amin. They got rid of Olivia. I'm sorry that I wasn't there. Yeah, do you know who's going to be back yet or no?
Not exactly. This was leaked by the Daily Mail.
Oh, yeah?
That they gutted all the cast members.
Not bad. I just hope they put some... Like, if you're going to get rid of the Workus twins, you have to bring somebody who's willing to show their tits just as much.
Yes.
Because that's a big part of what made the formula work.
Yeah.
Is the boobies.
Yeah, so I felt young watching this show. They're all 33, 34, 35.
And they always have their breasts out, and they drink excessively. And they make a lot of money.
Yeah, they don't.
I miss that show.
I missed the hell out of Summer House. That was cool.
But I mean, now it's summer, so this is the Summer House.
Yeah, they were filming. That was the whole thing, is that they're wrapping up filming this year. When we recorded, I looked it up. It was 5,000 people liked the show
on Facebook, right?
So now they're up to 9,000 people. So they've doubled.
Nice, not bad.
But it's weird how a nationally broadcast show only has that many, because enough people are like, I'll watch Jersey Shore.
Yeah, Summer House is kind of thematically the same. But you know what it is, dude? It's just being white's not very popular on television right now.
No.
No one wants to watch white people fucking enjoy themselves.
Vanderpump is wrapping down.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Vanderpump Rules. A bunch of people who work in a restaurant together. Live, love, and screw.
That's how you fucking sold me on Summer House. No, that's how you sold me on Below Deck.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, it's a boat show and everyone's fucking. And I'm like, no, dude, what are you talking about?
It's not real.
And then you're like, click, and it's like, wow, everybody's fucking.
Yeah, in this season, everyone is.
Hey, did Hannah get laid this season?
Yeah.
No way.
With the same dude this time.
Well,
no, she's never gotten laid before.
This time it happened, though, right?
She lost her virginity.
She lost her Below Deck V card. Well, Lawrence is taking his usual break, so I guess it's monologue time. It's nice to be back, guys. Maybe I should tell you why I was gone for so long. I had to deal with some serious personal crises, where I had lost my home, my family's home, and stuff like that. so I wasn't really in the mood to be broadcasting on the internet. But now that everything is settled and, you know, I'm back on strong ground, I feel like I am able to come back and do stuff like that. I was so with it, I bought my own mic.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, but in the beginning we used to we had a shortage of mics.
Yeah.
And now we literally just have mics lying around. We can't figure out how to get them all to start working.
I sat down on a boom mic, and I might swing the other way from now on. That sounded really stupid.
Badoom, badoom, That's right, we still have butthole jokes. You think anything changed? This guy's trying to pop a fucking mosquito bite.
Yes, it is a mosquito
Like
bite.
an idiot.
Actually, it's got the little red dot, so it's a spider bite. Because mosquito bites don't have a little red dot.
Or it might be the B word.
Conversion. When I first met Perda,
Parul Ben?
yeah,
Pearl Ben Dave?
at there, she asked me for some reason, because I said, "How are you? Oh, hey, what are you doing?" My son is doctor. I said, "Oh, cool. That's nice. What does he specialize in?"
OBGYN.
So yeah,
Oncology.
so then she's like, "Are you married?" And I'm like, "No, I'm single." And then I, just to be friendly, I'm like carrying the conversation. I'm like, "Oh, are you?" And she's like, pointing to her dot.
You don't know
on
what
her
the
head.
dot means. I know you wouldn't know what the dot means because you're just a fucking barren wasteland when it comes to. No, I'm just. You're decently cultured.
She was making conversation, we were just making conversation with each other, and
then you're like, the sniper dot. Should I be careful?
oh man, I was like, "Duck!" And then she's like, "No, it's okay."
No. It means I'm woke. It means I'm woke. Lawrence, get off of me. It means my third eye is open. Get off, bro. You're fucking my trip.
Oh my god. But anyway, this episode gets interesting because Fredrik and Jennifer are separated, even though they're trying to be working together, splitting the commission together. They separately report on offers on the listing, which is not what you do when you have a partner.
Obviously.
You got to work together. You got to make things happen. Seymour going to show up? Is he going to pick you up from here at 10:30?
Seymour Butts?
Seymour Butts.
No. I see Wiener is coming.
Why can't I find a man to hug and kiss? Maybe your standards are too low. That's Barney. Maybe your standards are too low. That's my Barney. Yeah.
No, it was a good episode of real estate. I didn't know that they moved to New York, which is cool because that was the first one that we talked about was real estate in New York. And I'm glad to see Fredrik back, and he's working. And there's a new guy that you said, the guy with the
Steve Gauld.
Steve Gauld is back. I watched him.
We watched that together, Paris, in the 4th episode that we did together.
And then the other guy, the guy that you said had his own show that was bad.
Oh, Ryan Serhant. It's okay for a little bit, but then it gets annoying because it's the same line. It's if the person doesn't sell their particular product,
Yeah, they're gonna get fired.
They're gonna get fired.
Funny because that's the plot of him in this episode.
Yeah.
He's trying to help this developer sell his building,
Yeah.
or the guy's gonna go bankrupt. Which is like, oh wow, wasn't that the plot of your show? It's like really intense though because the guy's like, every time he talks to the guy just has to bring it up. He's like, "Hey man, how are you?" And he's like, "I don't know. Did you sell the properties? I'm about to go fucking bankrupt." Then he's like, "Oh well, I'm gonna order. Are you gonna order?" And he's like, "Well, it depends. First, you got to tell me if you sold the properties or not."
Exactly. He's like, "Oh, did you order a visa yet?" And Ryan's like, "Just get us a tourist visa." And the guy looks him dead in the eye and says, "You can't fuck around with visas.
You can't lie to the Chinese government.
This is a business visa." And they need a cut of it too. When you sell things in China, I'm pretty sure they want a cut of the profit too, just like how it is in America. So I don't know how you can possibly get a tourist visa and then expect to sell properties there.
Fucking ridiculous.
But it's cool. So it's $1 million commission if he sells these properties. That episode airs Monday night to see if he gets it or not, to see if he sells the property. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll probably finish the part 2 of this episode before the Monday comes up.
Yeah. You got your friend picking you up, but that's cool. We'll get it in.
Once he calls me, I'm ready to leave. But until then, we got time.
Yeah.
Mustafa, after all.
Okay, cool, yeah.
You know Mustafa. I might even bring him in here and fucking be like, hey.
I gotta go. I'm gonna hang out with a friend tonight.
All right.
I told her I'd be there after. It's Naperville. I told her I'd be there after 10:30. So we'll see what happens with that.
We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah.
This might be a short episode.
Yeah.
Just be nice and stuff, you know. It'd be nice to just have like a familiar voice just to let her.
Yeah, we're back on, and yeah, we'll just do another time.
No, keep rolling.
Okay.
Ryan Gauld brings up. He's funny. I gotta give it to him.
Steve Gauld.
For a guy who's like so rich and ridiculously very, very, very good looking, he realizes that there is more to life.
He's good looking. He was a model before he did this.
Yeah, which I'm sure helps him when he's real estate, because you know people like people that are good looking. That's probably why you're having such a hard time.
Oh, in my face. Okay, with the ugly jokes. But he seduced a lot of women on this show.
He's all,
my grandma thinks I'm attractive.
yeah, he's definitely the type of guy to be like 4'5", and the girl goes 3'9", and he just kind of pulls down like a little bit, pulls out a little bit of chest hair, and she goes 4, 3, 5, and he goes sold.
He's actually doing it. We're actually making the motions here.
He's the funniest part about him in this episode is that he's like, oh, you know, as a member of the tribe, I am very prone to Jewish guilt, which I mean is like a big confession. Now you know that every Jewish person is just walking around guilty for no apparent reason. I'm not saying anything. No, just kidding. But yeah, so he has to help out his cousin's cousin.
Yeah.
And the kid's all, he's much young. It looks like he's not too much younger than Gauld is, but he doesn't have an ounce of the same skill that Ryan does, and that's basically, his name is Ryan, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the same skill that Ryan does. You see Ryan, and he's bouncing around like a ball in his real estate openings, and this isn't even his listing. He's gonna get he's gonna split this percentage, sure. And then the guy whose listing this actually is, and whose real estate career depends on this, he's walking around just trying to show people his floral jacket.
People are shooting off the last remaining fireworks. It is July 6th here as we're recording, and people are getting their kitty whistlers going.
Everyone's getting just the last of their fireworks out.
Yeah. They weren't going to do it until next year, but they're like, you know, we live in Clarendon Hills, Illinois. There ain't too much to do around here. Clarice, get my damn fireworks.
Clarice, get the lighter. I'm going to light the rest of these fireworks that we bought.
So we have these guests, and it's right back to where it was at the beginning, where the guests are demanding, and they're all talking about, hey, can we have our gumballs? And then the other guest shouts, I hope they're white. They better be white. Oh, no. The guest shouts, they better not be white. And sure enough, the only gumballs on the ship that they provisioned for them happen to be white gumballs.
Oh, man. I hope the flavor is still good, though.
Well, I heard Hannah personally licked all the color flavor off to make sure that they'd be white, so they get to the white coating. Isn't that right, Hannah?
My name's not Hannah.
Hello there. I personally licked all the gumballs so they'd be white as the guest requested.
I remember this one toy I got at Burger King when they had the Burger King Kids Club. It was like a little prank toy. It was Lingo's Gumballs, and then it was actually one of those prank snakes that come out of the capsule or container. So it was just, I was just thinking of that too, because that was just a memorable toy of mine that had to do with gumballs.
That's hilarious. It's like that can of nuts, the thing jumps out. Seems like today the meek mothers of America would not allow their kids to play with something that popped out like that.
I guess it traumatized them too, so they were like, no more of that.
See, this is a part of the show that I like when they're cruising. Part of what makes this experience worthwhile, in my opinion, is to have the boat at full speed, at full cruising speed, out in the middle of nowhere, because it adds an element of risk. Because if I'm paying $150,000, you better put that boat on full speed. And the best hot tub that I've seen, the best placed hot tub is on the front of the ship on this particular episode. Usually I think the hot tubs are in the back, but in this particular case, they're underway and they're able to use a hot tub, which I'm glad there's no rule against. And they're able to have their drinks and look out. She's kind of got her body arched forward like she's flying. So it gives you the thought that you're flying. On our catamaran, which is a sailboat and a motorized ship at the same time, with 2 bows, I went to the front and did that too, and I felt like I was flying because if you put your body far enough forward, it feels like you're Superman.
Yeah, that is awesome because if I was on that boat, I'm going to be staying in that hot tub all day long. It just looks so tempting. It's got to be a blast to just fly and be in a hot tub.
We got a plan. So the Gumballs finally come, and sure enough, they got their damn Gumballs.
Yeah. They first of all, they look like jelly beans in a little cup, so I can't even tell they're Gumballs. They're pretty little ones. I was thinking the big little round ones, like the sphere-shaped ones.
Sure.
That can sometimes be good, and other times they're hard as a rock. It just depends on how fresh they are.
They're in Ischia Point, Italy, and they're getting the hoist ready, and they're putting the jet skis in the water. It's interesting. When I was reading this article from a hoity-toity yachting industry, somebody who knew what they're talking about wrote this article. Very in-depth article. In fact, too in-depth. The damn thing was like a novel. But I enjoyed reading every paragraph of it. They say that everything is provisioned. That means even though you're paying $130,000 for this, they want to make sure that you're paying your fair amount for the jet ski fuel. And they have 2 submarines on board that you can actually go underwater with. There's a red one and a yellow one that this ship has. And you have to, the captain has to make a budget checklist for everything that they use. For all the food, for all the water toys, everything that's consumed. It's probably the hardest job the captain has. But that ensures that nobody gets gypped on any pricing issues.
Yeah, if I paid that much money to be on that boat, I definitely would want to make the most of it and definitely use all those things that they definitely pay for or spend the money on to have on that ship.
It's called I just realized it's called an itemized checklist.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Definitely want to make the most of your experience on the boat.
So they're discussing Zhao, and by there I mean Hannah and Brooke. And Brooke is an older sister, and she says, "You beware of that school bully. You stay away from him. He's bad news." And that makes Brooke's excitement level rise. She's like, "Oh, if I should stay away from him, maybe I'll try my chances with the bad boy in school."
I don't even like Zhao's haircut.
Yeah.
Just kind of looks a little young. He looks a little too old to have it.
A little douchey?
Yeah, it kind of looks like the haircut of like a college freshman.
That looks like Zach Morris.
Zach Morris made some really funny facial expressions on Saved by the Bell, especially when he's like a face of disgust and he stares right at the camera. It's just
he breaks the fourth wall.
It's just hilarious when he does that. And when he's angry, he has a really funny angry face. I almost would laugh in front of his. If I really pissed off Mark Paul Gosselaar and he started yelling at me in my face, I'd laugh at him because of his eyebrows.
Definitely, I could see it. I wouldn't blame you for it either.
Especially with that voice, he just sounds so young. Sounds like a lot of the protagonists in all those Disney movies in the early '90s. Almost has a really young what's his face? Did the voice of adult Simba, Matthew Broderick.
Huh? The voice of adult Simba.
Yep, one of my many childhood movies.
Yeah, we all cried. I think it was 1994 when The Lion King came out, and we all had a cry. And it was for me, it was a surprise too, because you're in the theater and it's you're watching a movie and you think it's happy-go-lucky. And I was 8 years old at the time, and the damn Simba's dad dies. is trampled because Scar set him up.
Yeah, we all had that experience the first time seeing the movie. And the funny thing is with The Lion King is I actually read a comic of The Lion King before actually seeing the actual movie. And I actually remember reading that comic book in like a laundromat while my mom was doing laundry. So it's just kind of a weird like memory I have. And then I saw the movie and it still made me cry because of just how dramatic they presented everything. So it was just that good of a movie. To even when I knew the plot, I still like thought it was one of the best movies I ever seen.
Oh yeah, looking back at it now.
Yeah, I still laugh at all the jokes too, and just I have all these inside jokes, especially with my brother about like almost every scene in the whole movie. As adults, we just still laugh about it today, and it's just hilarious. Like I think the most obvious one of all that I think everybody has is like, what if Simba at the beginning fell out of Rafiki's hands and he falls off the cliff?
Oh no, that's not funny.
Mad Magazine made fun of it in one of their magazine fronts called The Lion Klutz. One time I did I made this entire comic book, and it was a parody of The Lion King, and I swapped out all the characters with Nintendo characters. I think I had Bowser be Mufasa. I lost this comic book like 20-something years ago, and I'm trying to remember who's who, but my memory's kind of dead. I think I had the Donkey Kong Country antagonist King K. Rool be Scar, and Simba was Koopa Troopa, and Mario was in there somewhere, and I don't even remember which one he was. I think he was one of the hyenas with Luigi and someone else, and I think I had Yoshi be Nala, and I don't know if I really had them kiss or anything like that. I really don't remember what I did, and I think I kept Timon and Pumbaa the same. Like, I think they were just themselves, and I remember getting lazy with the scene where Simba meets Timon and Pumbaa, and then the Hakuna Matata comes up, so I just have them meet, and I just jump right into Hakuna Matata. And there was this one time, I'm getting carried away now, I was watching Jurassic Park with my family after I saw The Lion King, and this was like the second time I'd seen Jurassic Park, and I was kind of making fun of the scene where the T-Rex comes loose out of the fence, and everybody's like freaking out, and this one character, I forget which guy it was, but he like runs into this bathroom stall, and I started making fun of it as a 7-year-old. I started like sitting there in front of the TV, like pretend I'm like reenacting the guy's character. Oh my god, the T-Rex, and I have him go in the bathroom to take a dump, and he's like singing Hakuna Matata while taking a dump. Hakuna Matata. And he, like, as if he doesn't know a T-Rex is about to eat him.
Oh no.
So eventually the T-Rex gets him, and I'm just like sitting there in front of my family like, oh no, I'm trying to poop. Ah!
Man, that's crazy.
That's my story of the night.
That's crazy. So it sounded like you took the characters from The Lion King and etched in some characters from Mario?
Pretty much. I was a pretty big Nintendo fanboy in the early 90s, especially during the Super Nintendo years.
Definitely.
Like,
you remember a magazine called Nintendo Power?
I have like a bunch of those in my I collected those for years.
They're probably worth money.
I probably have like 150 of those.
Whoa.
I still have them. The earlier ones have lost a few pages here and there, like just the covers, but the first article I got into Nintendo Power way too late because my first issue that I own is from like December of 1997. Diddy Kong Racing was on the cover.
It's still pretty good.
One of my favorite games on the N64.
My favorite gaming magazine was called Electronic Gaming Monthly. Remember that one?
I've heard of it. I never owned it. I had Ultra Gamer for a while too. They covered a lot of PlayStation and Sega Saturn, but N64 I think took a back seat in that magazine.
Yeah. So we have our house guests getting ready here, back on the Below Deck show here, and what we have is she's putting on all this makeup, and I wonder what she's getting all ready for. These people are so fake. I don't think a beautiful woman needs to get facial reconstruction. I don't think a beautiful woman needs to get facial reconstruction surgery. She should just keep what she has, and it makes you look worse to get all that plastic and silicone drilled into your face, in my opinion.
Oh, we were talking about the plastic surgery on people's faces now?
Yeah, I realized they all got plastic surgery.
Yeah, the main guest guy looked kind of... For some reason, I thought he looked like Steve Young, and in real life, he doesn't have plastic surgery.
Steve Young doesn't have plastic.
Yeah, I just said that. Yeah.
I know, but the way you said it wasn't clear.
Oh yeah.
Because the subject was the guy, not Steve Young.
Oh yeah. I don't know his name.
Save's primary charter guest.
The primary charter guest. The primary charter guest to me looked like Steve Young.
Yeah. And then the guy with the little flavor saver looks like AJ from NSYNC. Is it weird that I know one of their names?
Oh, I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking Hanson. I was like, what? I was like, who's AJ? I don't even know who AJ is.
So the guests are ready to eat, and it's 9:54 p.m. We see the passage of time because they expected to eat at, 9 or 9:15. So then Captain John Elway comes down here, and he throws down. He's got to throw a Hail Mary for his team here. I've never seen a guest run in the kitchen like this. It's unbelievable. He runs to the kitchen and he's like, "Where's my meal? My friends want to eat. What are you guys doing?" And then it cuts really quick to Zhao says, "This chicken has a weird smell to it." And real quick, Conrad says, "That's veal, mate." And he says, "Oh, no." He says, "No, it's chicken." And the other guy said, No, it's veal. It's definitely veal. You're eating veal."
I gotta have veal on that boat because my only experience with veal is my old roommate at the time overcooked veal, and then I had to eat it really tough. And then I was like, I'm not eating veal ever again. But I guess that I'll have to try it again on that boat.
Did you at least have some sides that kind of worked?
Gosh, this was years ago. I think we did. I'm guessing like maybe coleslaw or something.
Yeah. So here we are in the coming up on Below Deck, which it's 2 weeks. We have to wait 2 weeks for the next episode. From here, we're only a week out, but from the last episode that we saw here, they can't do one during the July 4th week because it's a holiday. But they're going to have a Below Deck that returns on the 10th of July, and we're going to see Brooke looks like she's about to make out with Zhao, which is strange because she is just all in for this guy. There is no turning back. It is like, I like the bad bully, the what's that guy from Happy Days that everyone wanted, who was a bad guy?
Oh, I don't know.
The Fonz.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, somebody in high school in my art class was making a clay sculpture of his head.
with the little do-up that he had.
I think he tried that. I was just making Dwayne Johnson because it was just not too difficult to make.
No, not at all. I miss the art days. You remember the art? You could just make anything. And
oh yeah, my brother even made a Mike Ditka head with a cigar in the mouth and everything. Even the gym teacher wanted to buy it off of him.
Hell yeah! I made a Spider-Man mask that I took a lot of time with. I wish I would have kept it. I mean, I don't know why the hell I would spend 3 class periods making a perfect Spider-Man mask, and then I just kind of let it go. I was like, whatever, I'll give it to the art department.
I was sad in 6th grade in my clay. We were making clay, and I was trying to make I was actually trying to make the alligator in Diddy Kong Racing. His name's Crunch, and he didn't survive in the clay oven. He didn't survive, and I was so sad that time.
Oh, that's too bad.
Because I thought he looked fantastic, and then there was one thing in the oven that didn't make it, and it happened to be mine, and I was sad.
Damn it! And we're gonna have to try to remake that alligator.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite racers in that game.
Expect a lot more from us. Thanks for listening to this podcast. We really love the support and love our fans give us. If you have a minute, check us out on iTunes and leave a review. And if you don't want to do that, maybe next time you're talking to your friends about similar subjects, you could mention that you had fun tuning into the Loungtastic podcast. And we can get a fun interactive community going on. Really. That's all. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate the support. And if you don't want to do any of those things, it's okay. We're really happy you're listening. Thanks.
Well, I want to wrap things up and say thank you for joining us. This is Ryan and I's first podcast together. Ryan, you've done a wonderful job today. It is our July 4th podcast. Had a wonderful time with you seeing Bush perform and Dashboard Confessional. We got to be one of the first people that saw Bishop perform, Bishop Briggs, which is a great performer. I really liked her. What did you think of Bishop Briggs?
Very energetic, and she made the most of her performance because she was going to perform on a smaller stage. Then they promoted her to a bigger stage, and she made the most of it.
Yeah, and she said, hey, they just put me here, which I found weird because her band was all set up hours before the show started, so they kind of, I don't know, I guess, I don't know how fast things work at concerts or not, but I guess I figured that she was exaggerating a little bit. But I didn't have a problem with Bishop Briggs, and we hope that you continue on with your success, and it looks like you're original, you're energetic, you're exactly what we need now in this climate. I thought you were going to get political with us at the show because you started to say to the audience, someone told me not to speak my mind. And I'm like, here we go. She's going to say something about Trump.
Yeah, and then she said about, then what she really said was to be around people who really empower you and allow you to be yourself. And if they're not, then just got to move on without them. And I think it's an extremely common situation I think we all have, and sometimes we just got to find and be around the people that we have the most in common with and can have a good time with.
And the people that bring out the best in you.
Absolutely, make you happy.
Yeah, I remember she said that and it was like spot on. She had a few little groupies already. I've never heard of Bishop Briggs. I think that's cool. It's kind of cool to see a rising star. It's like one of my favorite things to do is see stand-up comedians on these late-night shows because they've just broken in the night they're on these stand-up shows. They may have done a year or two of stand-up in their hometowns or whatever, but the fact that they're able to be on the late-night show means that they've done something really cool and they've made people laugh. And they're ready to take that next step in their career and make some serious money from it.
Yeah, I've been to Late Night with Conan O'Brien on a trip to New York one time, and they had a comedian at the end of the show, and I hope he managed to take off from there and is having a good career.
I'm sure he has. His name is Jim Gaffigan, and he's made a name for himself in this world.
I saw Nick Offerman was at that talk show that day, and I had no idea who he was at the time, and he was just this one angry fan that didn't laugh at Conan's joke, and then they showed the camera to him, and then years later I was like, oh, it's Nick Offerman. I did not know who he was at the time. And
did you know that he was playing a part when you were at the show?
I think at the time, yeah. But then he had this show years later called Parks and Recreation, which then I was like, oh, that's the guy I saw at Conan O'Brien years ago.
Yeah, Nick Offerman grew up in one of Ryan's hometowns, Joliet, Illinois,
and he's from there, and I'm just like, oh, wow, that's another coincidence, because I saw him when I was out in New York City on a vacation, and he was out in New York, so it's just funny how all that worked out.
Nick Offerman, I would like to have a drink with you. Ryan and I will have a drink with you next time you want. You name the time and the location, and we'll do it.
Your mustache will get all soaked from alcohol.
It already smells of the bourbon that I drink on a daily basis.
I'm sure a lot of things have been in that mustache over the decades.
You don't think I have a good Nick Offerman impression?
It's good enough.
Good enough for the Loungtastic podcast. Well, the new show comes out on July 10th, which is cool. So we'll have a couple days here to chill, and I hope everyone has a safe holiday. If you all decide you want to blow firecrackers off, please be careful. Please have a trained pyrotechnic professional teach you the proper way of doing it, or just have them do it. That's probably better. They just let them do it. No missing fingers. We don't want anyone to get hurt. Have a wonderful, safe, warm, joyous, family and friend-filled Independence Day.
For sure. Enjoy the 4th of July, because we sure will, and I'm gonna make some good jambalaya and enjoy the pool on a hot day and watch some kick-ass fireworks.
We're going to enjoy Ruth Lake, which is the best fireworks display I've seen anywhere. I can't get enough. I've seen it. 2-year tradition now.
Hey, Lawrence, I know you were going to sign up for healthcare, but they don't make it for douchebags. But of course, if you were going to sign up, you'd have to sign up for the douche plan. It was definitely funny.
It's definitely a fun day on this podcast today.
Awesome. And yeah, we had the best time of our lives. Please join us next time as we talk politics. We're going to have Bernie Sanders on, and a rabbit and a raccoon. And a rabid raccoon. They're going to go at it for hours. That's going to be hilarious. Please visit us at lawrencehurstel.com. Our show has been sponsored by Loungtastic. Please join us next time as we have some interesting surprise guests to the Lawrence Hurstel podcast.